Alright, part 2, and this is after the coffee filters have dried overnight. I'm using my phone, so the camera quality will be a little different, but you can see the texture a lot better with this phone. And that's how the petals are looking. You know, nothing fancy. You don't need all these artistic skills. And this is everything laid out. Today, what I'm going to be using, you can use wooden skewers for this part, but I like to use these floral stems I got from Walmart for $1. They're like wire with embroidery string wrapped around them. You can also use paper and roll it into a tube and use that as a stem if you'd like. You also need floral tape. I got that from Walmart, but they sell it at Dollar Tree too, and that was $1 too. Alright, now we will start the process of unfolding so I can just show you how all the colors turned out. I'm just going to speed through this so you can see how they all look. Okay, the part where we actually assemble the flowers. Like, I like to cut my stems in half with a wire cutter because they're a little too long for my liking, but you can leave them if you want. So, once we have it the size we want, we're going to get our first petal and poke a hole right through the middle with the stem and just slide it to the top. You're going to pinch the bottom and kind of squeeze that petal up towards the top. See how I'm doing it? And squeezing it before we get some hot glue and apply it around the center here. Apply your hot glue, and then again that same motion with the squeezing, pulling forward, pushing it onto the tip of the stick. We're going to do that. And you just repeat this. You keep adding glue and stacking petals. Adding glue, stacking petals. This is me doing another one. You can see, just glue it in the center. Gonna press it down. If you want a lot of texture, squeeze as you're pulling forward too. You can squeeze and twist to give the flowers more texture in the end. Sometimes I don't squeeze as much because I don't want the flowers to be as crinkly. But the more you squeeze, the more texture you'll see. Sometimes you don't want a super textured flower, so I'm going to show you another thing you can do. If you don't want the flower super textured, you don't squeeze it all the way. You just squeeze at the base. So watch when I do this one. I apply to the bottom, but I only squeeze it at the base of the flower. I don't go all the way up to the top and squeeze the petals because I want this one to be a big fluffy flower. Another technique is adding a center, and I'm just using a piece of yellow napkin, but you can use yellow paper. Just cut a rectangle, fold it twice, and just cut some slits around the top to make a little fringe. And then I'm going to take this part, just like I was doing the other ones, adding some glue to the top of my stem, and I'm just going to roll it around about 3 or 4 times. You don't really need this to be that thick. So when you get it to the desired thickness, just go ahead and rip it off and just glue it down until you have something like this. And then we'll just stack our petals just like we did on all the previous ones. Glue, stack, and press. Glue, stack, and press. Repeat, repeat, repeat. This is another technique. If you want to make like rose-like petals, you can take a scissors and run them across the edge of the filter, and it will curl them under like you see I'm doing here. And they'll give you a different floofy effect on the flowers too. So once you're done stacking all your flowers, you're going to take some of this floral tape and you're going to wrap around the base of it until you get a really tight base at the end of the flower. Just kind of wrap up first, and then once you wrap it up and get a solid base, you're just going to wrap all the way down the entirety of the wire, all the way down. Whatever works best for you. This can be lumpy and bumpy, it doesn't have to be pretty. And then just seal the end. Treat this like masking tape. You just don't want a wire at the end there to stick out and hurt you. And then we're at the best part. We start to actually pull the petals down one by one. I'm going to go slow on this first one just so you can see how this one turns out. But for the sake of not making this an hour-long video, I'm going to speed through the rest so you can just see how all the other flowers turn out. So we'll start with this blue one, which I think is my favorite. I used the decorative scissors on this one to give it kind of a funky edge. But yeah, it's so freaking pretty. We are done. Look at my bouquet. I made so many of these, and a lot of people like to spray these with perfume, and you can put them as a centerpiece and they hold scent very well, but you cannot tell me these do not look like real life flowers, and they're freaking coffee filters, dude. So make them, show me, tag me.